Welcome to Real Vermont News. I'm Bob Frenier here to say somebody's finally looking into things. Today, we're looking into vote fraud in Vermont, something many people swear never happens. Here's correspondent Rob Roper with a report.
Thanks, Bob. Illegal voting does happen in Vermont. In January, Essex County Superior Court Judge Thomas Devine ordered the removal of non-residents from the town of Victory's voter checklist. For the tiny Vermont community, that meant a full 13% of registered voters were declared illegitimate, and these illegitimate votes were more than enough to alter the outcome of a town election.
Who were those people, and how did they ever get on the voter list in the first place?
The local Board of Civil Authority, the BCA, told these non-residents they were eligible to vote in Vermont because they claimed they had an intent to establish a primary home there in the future. But Judge Devine's ruling affirmed Vermont law, which says a legal voter must already have their primary residence in the town, with an intent to remain there indefinitely, coupled with objective evidence that demonstrates that intent. Having a second home in a town and saying you're going to move there permanently someday doesn't make you a resident or a voter today.
So, what about other communities? Do they let out-of-towners vote just because they claim an intent to move there or move back there in the future? Are elections statewide influenced by people who really live elsewhere?
Well, I say yes. Remember when Garrett Graff attempted to run for lieutenant governor in 2016 after having lived and worked in Washington, D.C. for over a decade? He bragged about having stayed on the Vermont voter checklist and claimed that if he had the right to vote for an office, he should have the right to run for that office. Well, he didn't have the right to do either. But at that time, we had a guy running for the second highest office in state government who had been voting illegally in Vermont for 10 years, and not one election official in this state called him on it.
Thanks, Rob. This all makes it easy to conclude that Vermont's voter checklist statewide might be full of voters who don't really live here. So, if we want to make certain that real Vermonters and only real Vermonters get to vote in our elections, we need to clean up our voter lists. Here's a way to make that happen. Just like this video, click your Facebook share icon to share this story with all your friends. Then, contact your state representatives and senators at contactyourrep.net to tell them you want voter checklists to conform to state law. Contact your local town clerks and BCA members about Judge Devine's ruling too. And that's all the Real Vermont news we have time for. A lot more happened, and we'll be looking into all of it.